Scales don't have to be boring, and today we're going to go through 7 ways that we can practice our scales to make them that little bit more fun. And at the end of the video, I'm going to be setting myself the challenge of playing scales in one hand and arpeggios in the other, so stick around until the end of the video to see how that one goes. The first way that we're going to make our scales a bit more fun is to change up the rhythm. So you can do this with pretty much any rhythm that you want, but the key here is to make sure that you keep the same rhythm going, so keep consistent with the rhythm that you're using. So the second thing that we can do is add a change of direction and a change of speed. Just take half the tempo of the tempo that you want to achieve on the metronome and then just add 4 or 5 BPM to the half tempo each time. You will slowly get to the tempo that you want to. It's just the same as what we do in tricky passages of our pieces. Number 3 is actually a really good way of developing evenness in your playing. So this is to take one finger and accent that finger only. So for instance, if you take your thumb, just accent each thumb of the scale, but leave the other ones quiet, and then work your way through the other fingers too. This will help even out your scales. Number 4 is simple, and this is to group your scales in different groupings of eighth notes. So for instance, you could group in a 4, a 5, a 6, or a 7, but you may find that you don't always end at the end of that particular group. So for instance, if you take groups of 3s, you will end perfectly if you do 3 octaves. But if you take a group of 5, you may not if you end up doing 2 octaves or 4 octaves end where you expect to. Number 5 is a fun one, and this is to cross your hands. Only do this if it is comfortable, and this is really to help you to polish up and find and make sure that you do know your scales really well. If you can do them with your hands crossed, you can certainly do them, and you'll find them much easier when you come to do them back in similar motion again. Number 6 is to be a mixing board of sorts. What I mean by this is we're going to take our hands and we're going to adjust the balance, just like on a mixing board. We're going to make our right hand a little bit louder and our left hand a little bit softer. This is what we do in our pieces all the time with a melody and accompaniment. Once you're comfortable with one way, switch them over. Adjust the balance back so your left hand is now louder than your right hand. If you really want to mess with your head, then you can try adjusting the balance of your hands midway through a scale. Number 7 is to play different scales or arpeggios in both hands. I'm a little bit nervous about this because this is today's challenge. So what we need to do is take one scale in one hand, another scale in the other hand, and play them at the same time. Or what we can do is do a scale and an arpeggio at the same time. This is great fun and really tests how well you know your scales. If you'd like to download a free cheat sheet on how to improve your scales generally, then you can do that from the link in the description below. This has all of the fun ways that we've gone through of practicing scales today, as well as how to improve your scales generally. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.